Hello, my name is Rachel, and today I'll be guiding you through a quick 15-minute lower body stretch for the hips. So if you feel any tension, any stress in the hips, then this is the perfect stretch for you. All you're going to need today is 2 blocks, your mat, and yourself. And if you don't have time to practice with me right now, then feel free to add this to your watch later list and you can practice with me later on. So today we're going to start in a child's pose. So go ahead and bring the big toes to touch. Spread your knees out as wide as the mat. Sit back onto the heels and then slowly lower the forehead onto the mat. We're going to be here for a few moments, so if you want to lower the forearms down to the mat, you can. And just completely let yourself relax here. Bring your breath into its natural pattern. Don't overthink it. Just take a couple more deep breaths here. And when you're ready, go ahead and slowly start to roll on up and make your way into a seated position. Once you're there, we're going to do ankle to knee pose. So you're going to grab your right ankle and place it over your left knee, and then place the right knee down over the right ankle or the left ankle. And go ahead and flex both feet. And if this is too deep of a stretch for you, you can also come into cross-legged with the right crossed over the left. But either way, get comfortable in your pose and then start to take little circles around yourself, getting into that right hip here. My hips feel really tight today, so I'm just going to take little baby circles. You can take this as deep as you'd like to. And make those circles in the other direction. And then come back to center and slowly start to inch your way forward as much as you can while keeping that lower back straight. And then you're going to go ahead and release your head, neck. You can kind of shake out the shoulders a little bit, releasing any tension there. And just take a few moments to breathe into your right hip here. take a couple more rounds of breath here. And when you're ready, slowly go ahead and roll yourself up. You can straighten out the legs for a second, just kind of shake them out to release any tension there. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So you're gonna grab that left ankle and place it over the right knee, and then place that left knee over the right ankle. And begin by taking little circles around yourself, getting into the left hip this time. And make those circles in the other direction now. And bring yourself back up to center. You can either stay right here if this side is tighter than the other and this feels like a really deep stretch, or you can go ahead and slowly start to lower yourself forward inch by inch and find that sweet spot where you're getting a nice deep stretch, but you're still keeping the spine long. And then go ahead and lower the head, the neck, shake out the shoulders a little bit. And just breathe into that left hip. Take a couple more rounds of breath here. And when you're ready, go ahead and slowly bring yourself back up to center. You can shake out the legs one more time. And we're gonna come into a tabletop position. Now, when you're in your tabletop, I want you to go ahead and tuck the toes and then slowly lift your knees a couple inches off of the mat before bringing yourself back into a downward facing dog. Now, once you're in down dog, look at your feet, make sure they're hips width distance apart, and then you can go ahead and pedal out the feet a little bit. You can shake the hips a little from side to side if that feels nice. And then settle into your down dog by taking a deep inhale through the nose. And a deep exhale out of the mouth. Now with your next inhale, go ahead and lift your right leg straight up towards the sky. Bend that right knee and then look forward. You're gonna bring that right foot right in between the palms, step it onto the mat, And then go ahead and lower that back knee onto the mat, untucking the back toes. And we're going to come into an Anjaneyasana. So go ahead, make sure that the hips are squared towards the front of the mat, and you want to bring that right hip a couple inches back, and then bring that left hip forward. And with your palms, you can either bring the palms to center to touch at the center of the chest. You can bring your arms up, palms facing one another, or you can bend the elbows and grab for opposite elbows, whatever feels best. But we're just going to stay here for a couple rounds of breath. When you're ready, go ahead and place your palms back onto the mat, coming back into a downward facing dog. Once you're in your down dog, take a deep inhale through the nose and a deep exhale out of the mouth. Now with your next inhale, go ahead and lift your left leg straight up towards the sky. Bend that left knee, look forward, and you're going to bring that foot in between the palms, placing it onto the mat, dropping that left knee, untucking the back toes, and coming up for Anjaneyasana on this side. So on this side, you want to make sure that that left hip comes a couple inches back, that your right hip moves forward, and that the hips are squared towards the front of the mat. And you can take whichever variation with the hands that you want to on this side. It can be different than what you did on the other side. And once you're settled in this pose, just take a couple rounds of breath. Now when you're ready, go ahead and place your palms back down onto the mat and step back into a downward facing dog. Now with your next inhale, go ahead and lift that right leg straight up towards the sky. Bend that right knee, and I want you to look forward at your right wrist, and you're going to bring that right knee right behind the right wrist, placing it onto the mat, setting up for a pigeon pose on the right side. So we're going to take a supported version here. So if you have blocks, you can use blocks or books or whatever it is that you have. You're going to place one block underneath the chest and one directly underneath the forehead. And once again, make sure that the hips are square towards the front of the mat before slowly coming down onto your prop and bringing that chest onto that first block, the forehead onto the second block. And bringing all of your focus to that right hip here. With every exhale, visualizing any stress, any tension that's stuck in that right hip, slowly leaving the body. Just take a couple more rounds of breath here. And when you're ready, slowly start to bring yourself back up, moving your blocks to the side of the mat, and come back into a downward facing dog. This time with your next inhale, you're gonna lift that left leg straight up towards the sky, bend that left knee, and bring it in right behind the left wrist this time, setting up for pigeon pose on the left side. Once again, making sure that the hips are square towards the front of the mat before bringing your blocks, setting them up, one right underneath the chest and one right underneath the forehead, and slowly lower yourself down onto your props. This time bringing your focus to that left hip. With each exhale, maybe coming deeper into the stretch and visualizing any tension, any stress that you feel there, slowly leaving your body with each round of breath. Just take a couple more rounds of breath here. And after your next exhale, go ahead and slowly lift yourself back up. Move the blocks to the side of the mat. And I want you to swing that back leg forward. Coming into a cross-legged seat at the front of the mat. Just close your eyes. Taking a couple of deep breaths, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out of the mouth. You can stay here for as long as you'd like. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and slowly open up the eyes and bring yourself back. Thank you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you absolutely love this class and want to keep working out with us, then check out the Yoga Plus app using the link below.
Welcome to Yoga Plus. Courses available from pupil to yogi. Sort by yoga, fitness, and instructors. Create your own routines. Access the Pose Library. Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth, available on Google Play and the App Store.
Join us for 14 and 30-day programs, hour-long classes, and much more on our yoga app, Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth. It's free to download and features a variety of wellness content, including yoga, fitness, Pilates, guided meditations, and interviews with dozens of wellness experts.